Hey everybody, this evening I'm going to be re-waxing my chain on my gravel bike. A few tools I'm going to be using. One is this Shimano TL-CN42 chain checker, just to check it, make sure it's still within tolerance. Also, to be able to break the quick link, I also have some quick link pliers that'll help be able to break that quick link and not have to damage it by possibly using something that you shouldn't be using. So let's get to it.
So as you can see, chain doesn't look too bad. Like I said, it's been about 300 kilometers. So I'm going to first put my chain checker on it. So let me do that right quick. All right. Slide this down in there. Make sure it's seated all the way. And then if we look, we can see that it does not go in. And I know they say to check more than one spot. So we'll move the chain a little bit. Put the chain checker in. Make sure it's seated all the way. Doesn't go down in. We'll do one more spot. Just to be on the safe side, push it in. Put it up there. Doesn't go in. So the chain's still good. So let's get to breaking this chain. Let's find the quick link real quick. Let's see, where's it at? There it is, right there. All right, so get my pliers here. And see if we can do this. And then gut it in there and then just squeeze. It popped. Set the pliers over here. Quick links apart. I'll go ahead and take them off so they don't drop out and I lose them. And they also say to have the chain on the smallest ring on the cassette and the chain on the chain ring on the smallest chain ring, so there's more slack so it's not going to spring apart on you. So now that we got that, let's go ahead and pull this chain out here. Like so. All right. Got the chain. Not too bad. All right, now let's head over and I'm going to use the hot water method to get all the old wax off and everything. So let's go to that. All right, we're here in my kitchen. I have one of those electric kettles. So I'm going to put the water on boil, start, and we'll let it start doing its thing. While it's doing that, here's my bucket I'm going to use. And we're going to put the chain in there, and then we'll pour the hot water over it. All right, we got the water to a rolling boil. So now we're going to take that and we're going to pour it in the bucket with the chain. I won't use all of it so I can do it twice here. It's kind of crazy how much stuff comes out of this chain pretty quickly. You'll be able to see, I think. Kind of see all that gray. You've got to be careful because this water is crazy hot. So I'll pull this out here, and then I'll wipe it down with the rag, and then we'll go on to the second one. All right, got some tongs here to grab the chain because it's hot, like I said. So reach in here. Oh yeah. You see all that wax floating in the water, so it definitely did strip all that out of there. So let's do this. Whew. Toasty. Alright. Trying to handle it quick so I don't burn the crap out of myself. There's that side. Oh yeah. You can already hear that it's definitely, I mean, look at this.
getting a lot cleaner on it. You don't see all that buildup from that wax. I'm gonna set it over here, dump out this water, and then I will put the fresh hot water in there and we'll run it one more time. All right, got the chain in there again for the second bath. Whew. Give it a slosh around. Yes, sir. Not a lot is coming out as like the first time, which obviously I totally expected because that hot water just stripped all that stuff out the first time. Like I said, it doesn't hurt to do it twice. Just guarantee you're getting all that out of there. Alright, pour the water off. Without burning the ever-loving crap out of yourself. Woo! You know, wash my microfibers, getting a little dirty. Got the chain. Flip it over. Get all the kinks out of it. This is the hard part because when it's screaming hot, you don't want to handle it too long. Alright, there we go. And then pull it through. There we go. All right. That quick. Boom, boom. Nice rattle. We are now headed over here to the slow cooker and we will throw the chain in there. All right, here's my crock pot set up. And inside is the wax. And like I said, this crock pot's dedicated for my waxing, so obviously I don't have to worry about, you know, if I were to use it for food. Also, like they talk about, a little swisher tool made out of a hanger. Works really good. So I'm going to go ahead, take this chain, put it on my swisher tool, and then get it set in the crock pot. And then also I have my temperature probe here, and I have it set to 175, so it'll give an audible beep when it gets up to 175. And then that'll let me know that I can go ahead and go check it just to make sure it hasn't overshot or anything like that. And then I can turn it off, let it slowly start to cool down before I pull out the chain out of the crock pot and hang it to let it dry. So let's go to the next step. All right, so I got the swish tool, got the chain, put it in there, and I try to do like even loops. I mean, obviously it probably really doesn't matter. I mean, unless like you have a really small container that you're, or crock pot, whatever that you're using to put your wax in. But I try to keep the lengths about even. Get in there. Sometimes you gotta fight it, sometimes you don't. And then that goes in there. And there we go. So that's how I have it on there. It does pretty good. And then we will turn the crock pot on. I like to start it out on high, and then I'll periodically check it. Once it starts getting close, then I'll back it down to low. But like I said, I have the probe set to 175, so it'll beep when it gets to 175, so I know that I'm getting within the butter zone of where it needs to be for the whack to get in all the links and stuff. So let's get that started. All right, dropping chain in. Gonna flop that down. Sometimes you're gonna have to bend the hook of it. There we go, it goes in. I take my probe, stick it down in the wax, and like they say, you want to get the wax and the chain to the same temperature. You don't want the wax warm and the chain cold, so you don't want to put the chain in later. You want to put the chain in while the wax is still hard. Let everything come up to temperature. So I'm going to go ahead, drop the lid on that bad boy, and I'll see you here after a bit once we get closer to 175. All right, so we're getting there. Right now we're at 118 and climbing. I'm going to go ahead, lift this lid up on here. Get my little pad so I don't burn the shit out of myself. And kind of give it a little swishy swish while the wax is slowly melting. Ooh. And it is liquid, as you can see in there, so it is slowly getting there. I'm going to pull the probe out for a hot second here. Just kind of go ahead and start getting it. Oh, yeah. All that goodness. It's getting there.
Once it's fully melted, then it'll completely cover the chain. So don't think that I don't have enough. Absolutely do. So I remember the second time I waxed my chain after the initial wax, I was like, oh crap, I don't have enough. And then I noticed that when it finally melted, it would cover it all. So it'll get there. Put that back like that. Probe back in there. Lid back on. And we'll be back in a few. So we just hit our target temperature. As you can hear, it's beeping. I just gave it the last swish. So now we're going to let it start to cool. Let me get this here. Now we'll let it cool. Once it gets to 165, then we'll pull it. And then we'll hang it and let it dry. I'll see you in a bit.
All right, so what I do at this point is I go ahead and I pull the liner out of the crock pot and I put it on a tray on the floor, and I have this hook that I made from a clothes hanger, and I will hook the chain on there and I can hang it, and I'll show you how I do that once it gets to that 165. So basically what we're gonna do, believe it or not, I'll show you here. Here's the chain to, believe it or not, a ceiling fan. So I will hook this here, and then it will hold the chain directly below the pot. So whatever drips off will go right back into the pot, and it won't get on the floor or anything. And the fan, while blowing down, helps cool the chain down a little bit quicker, you know. So, I mean, hey, why not? It's my own house, and nobody else is here but me, so no one's going to yell at me. I'll see you in a bit. All right, we're at 165. So I'm going to take my little hook that I have here, and we'll get my little hot pad so I won't burn my fingers. All right. Pull the probe out. Get my little pad here so I don't burn myself. Alright. So as we can see, there's the chain. So I'm going to hook it in here. See if we can't do this without getting hot wax everywhere. All right. So I now have it on there. Put it on the chain. As you can see, it's hanging here. Make sure the pot is directly underneath it. And it'll dry here in probably, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And then I will take it and we'll go ahead and break that bond. Then we'll get it back on the bike. All right, now I got the chain. I took it and I put it over a piece of PVC pipe and rolled it back and forth to break it, because obviously it's going to be super stiff hanging straight like that. So now it's all broke in. So now I'm going to get this back on the bike, put the quick link on and get it all connected, and then we'll be ready for a ride. All right, one other thing, when you're putting the chain back on, especially with Shimano's, I'm not sure about all the other ones, but I know with Shimano, you need to make sure for the correct direction that there's writing on one side of the chain and not on the other. So make sure that the writing or the lettering on the chain itself is facing out. So that way you'll know you'll have the chain in the right direction. Same with the links, master links. There's a little arrow that shows you which way, and it goes with the way of the pedal, the travel of the chain when you pedal the bike. So just make sure and get that correct. So let's go ahead and get this put back on. Our master link 1.
Look at the arrow. All right. This one's got the arrow pointing that way, and that's the way the chain will go as I'm pedaling. And then the other one goes on this side. Bring the two together. Make sure they're seated good in there in the little grooves on either side of that pin. Then we'll get our pliers. Ta-da! And we'll stick that right inside there. There we go. Look at it, make sure it's seated all the way in there. And it is on that side. And it is on that side. Give her a spin here. Just kind of do it a few times. All right, hope that helps. See you in the next one.